Hello and welcome to KLM Institute.
We have an extremely tragic and complex situation to discuss today that has captured the attention of many around the world. On December 25, 2024, an Azerbaijani Airlines plane, traveling from Baku, Azerbaijan, to Grozny in Russia's Chechen Republic, crashed near Aktau, Kazakhstan. The crash claimed the lives of 38 people, including Azerbaijani citizens, Russians, Kazakhs, and Kyrgyz citizens. What makes this event even more concerning is the growing suspicion that the plane may have been shot down by a Russian air defense missile, adding another layer of intrigue to this devastating tragedy. The plane, an Embraer 190 jet, was carrying 67 people, including passengers and crew. As it made its journey across the Caspian Sea, it suffered a catastrophic failure, which resulted in its crash. Initially, Russian authorities claimed that the cause of the crash was a bird strike. The pilot reportedly attempted an emergency landing after colliding with a flock of birds, which caused the aircraft to lose control. However, this account has been met with considerable skepticism from aviation experts, military analysts, and even independent Russian media outlets, who have raised doubts about the veracity of this explanation. In fact, independent Russian media, including outlets like Meduza and Mediazona, reported that the plane showed signs of being struck by a surface-to-air missile, likely launched from Russian air defense systems. Footage of the crash site reportedly revealed significant damage to the plane's tail section, with numerous holes that resemble those caused by a missile impact. These holes are characteristic of the kind of damage seen in other military aircraft that have been downed by surface-to-air missiles. Survivors of the crash described hearing an explosion shortly before the plane's descent, further fueling the theory that the plane might have been hit by a missile rather than being brought down by a bird strike. Adding to this theory, Russian pro-war Telegram channels published photos of the crash, which seemed to show evidence that the plane had been fired upon. The online posts also suggested that the plane might have been the victim of a case of misidentification, as air defenses in the region had been particularly active on the day of the crash. The area near Grozny, where the plane was flying, had been the site of multiple aerial battles between Russian forces and drones, many of which are believed to have been launched by Ukraine in its ongoing conflict with Russia. Now, let's take a deeper look at why this could have happened. The flight path of this Azerbaijani Airlines plane was near an active conflict zone, and the region around Grozny has seen frequent military activity due to the ongoing tensions between Russia and Ukraine. The use of drones by Ukraine to target Russian air defenses and military installations has been a frequent occurrence. It's not inconceivable that the air defense systems in Chechnya, already on high alert due to potential drone attacks, could have misidentified the commercial plane as a threat, especially given the ongoing aerial battles and radar interference. Flight tracking data also showed some troubling signs. According to Flight Radar 24, the plane experienced radar jamming and spoofing near Grozny, causing its radar data to disappear for parts of the journey. Additionally, the available data indicated that the aircraft was struggling with altitude control during its final moments in the air. Such issues are typically associated with damage to the plane's electrical and hydraulic systems, which could make the aircraft uncontrollable. Aviation experts, like Heinrich Grossbongard, have questioned the bird strike explanation, noting that if birds had struck the engines, they would have caused a loss of power, but the plane would still have been controllable. He compared it to the famous emergency landing of U.S. Airways Flight 1549, which successfully landed after a bird strike. On the other hand, the erratic movements and altitude fluctuations seen in this case point more to damage caused by a missile, making the bird strike explanation seem less plausible. The situation surrounding the crash is further complicated by the involvement of multiple countries in the investigation. The crash site, located in Kazakhstan, has prompted authorities in Azerbaijan, Russia, and Kazakhstan to launch criminal investigations into what caused the tragedy. In addition, Brazilian authorities are now involved since the plane was an Embraer model, and they will be examining the wreckage to determine whether a mechanical failure could have been the cause of the crash. The black box has already been recovered, and its analysis is expected to shed more light on the events leading up to the crash. So why is this all happening? The ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine may have played a crucial role in this incident. As the war escalates, airspace in and around Russia has become highly volatile, with air defense systems on constant alert for incoming threats, including drones launched by Ukraine. It's possible that the Azerbaijani Airlines plane, while innocently flying its scheduled route, was caught in the crossfire of these military operations, leading to tragic consequences. The involvement of Azerbaijan in this tragic incident adds another layer of complexity. While Azerbaijan is not officially part of the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, it is strategically positioned in the region and has its own interests and alliances. Azerbaijan has been maintaining good relations with Russia, but this incident might strain those ties. The potential downing of an Azerbaijani plane by Russian forces could provoke tensions between the two nations, especially as Azerbaijan is not a party to the Russian-Ukrainian conflict. In light of all these developments, aviation security experts are closely monitoring the situation, as this incident could have broader implications for international aviation. The potential for air defense systems to mistakenly target civilian aircraft raises important questions about the safety of flying in regions affected by conflict. With drone warfare becoming more prevalent, the risk of misidentification of civilian aircraft could increase, leading to further tragedies if systems are not improved to better distinguish between commercial and military targets. As we await further updates from the ongoing investigations, it's clear that the cause of this crash is far from clear-cut. While the initial explanation of a bird strike seems increasingly unlikely, the possibility of a surface-to-air missile strike raises critical questions about the safety of air travel in regions involved in military conflicts. Whether this was a tragic accident caused by misidentification or something more deliberate, the impact of this event will be felt for years to come. The tragic crash of the Azerbaijani Airlines plane near Aktau, Kazakhstan, on December 25, 2024, has sparked intense debate and investigation. With mounting evidence pointing toward the use of a Russian surface-to-air missile, the cause of the crash remains shrouded in uncertainty. As the investigation continues, we can only hope that answers will emerge to provide closure for the families of the victims and to help prevent similar incidents in the future. Stay tuned for more updates as this story unfolds.